Hello, Katja here, and welcome to this tutorial where I'm using Finnabair Products. I have a canvas, a triangle-shaped canvas, and I was thinking if I will use the front or the back side. I always struggle with all these choices. I start to paint my canvas with black heavy gesso, not all over. I'm doing that on the edges. I paint one, perhaps two coats. I go over to have not white places left over. And please remember, if you like the channel, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and click on the bell button so you don't miss any videos. Please help all the YouTube channels today. Yeah, now I have the Finnabair jewel paste. I really love the crushed amber. It's like rusty orange, and I didn't thought that when I was having it, but I love it. That color, it's a rusty orange color, and it's full of texture, and it's have like a metallic effect like the icing paste. And right now I add the paste with the spatula, not all over it. And when I'm here in this place, I really don't know exactly what the outcome will be. I have like a ground idea, but I can never set up my mind exactly what I do when I start. So I'm adding it here, and I will dry it. And then I want to add like a color in the background to not have white spaces, and I didn't want to pick it all over. I wanted to make like a textured background. So now I have my liquid acrylic paint, the burnt sienna, my favorite color ever, and I really love them because you can add even more, and I really enjoy to have like more effect. So I'm taking my brush into the bottle directly and add so I get more. Just lovely. Here I have a stencil from Finnabair, the swirly floral. Now I will add modeling paste. I wasn't sure if I was adding modeling paste or if I should have something else. I was thinking about black, but I wanted to highlight and make like some extra effect so it makes some contrast. And yeah, I was enjoying it, but still confusing to have like too much contrast. But I solved it in the end, and sometimes you do layering and you're not sure if they will show up in the end or not. Please be sure to clean your stencil when you have used some pastes. I have a lot of molds, love the new molds, vintage frame, and it's a lot of elements and the skulls and bones, and some older frame and a swirl from redesign of Prima. Yeah, and I want to paint them black. And when I started to paint, I realized I want to have even more. So I'm start to look in my jar and even have more details and small frames from the frame set of the grungy frame, and realize I want to add even more. I like changing my mind during recording. When everything is black painted, I want to make them even more like a grungy. So I mix the pumpkin and the dark chocolate, more dark chocolate than the pumpkin. But I mix them to have like a little bit more like a rusty tone on the effect, and leave the orange pieces a little bit here and there. So it doesn't look like perfect. And I like the effect of them. They are just gorgeous. Now I want to add like something more happening in the background. So I have some brown spots. Uh, so I take the wax and apply a little bit of the aged brass here and there in the background. And now I tone down the white modeling paste. So that makes me even more happy. And yeah, you can be a little bit sad because I pick like a big, really big elements to glue on them, and I have like a gorgeous background. But yeah, I like the elements also. So I start with all the layering, and I want to have like elements holding up the frame. So I'm adding like smaller pieces of molds in the background to make it more dimensional and to hold up the big frame. And I'm gluing everything with a heavy body gel. Yeah, the absolutely favorite gel. And everything and these big things, it will hold so well. So you see, I'm placing elements under my frame because I want to give it more dimension, and that's its part to give it like more shadowing and more effect. And I like them when they are like standing out from the canvas. So I'm trying to find these pieces like a natural place to fill up the frame, like natural, to not be so part. It's like a cluster around it, and that is because the skull that I have here, like it's really dark right now because it's black, it will be my focal point. So that's why I want to keep it like close and not put so much, because already the frame is the triangle shape already uh, making something visual effect, so I don't need to spread out too much, only to make it more like looking a little bit longer, and it's more to lifting it up a bit. Okay, now when I have glue everything, I want to add a little bit texture around my composition. So I have some little bit leftovers on the heavy body gel, and then I sprinkle of some microbeads, and I don't want them to pop out too much because I have the set, but I have choose the brown one. Now it's time for the gilding glue. I will brush it all over my skull. I also have from the kit, from the star set, elements. The moon is from the nocturnal element, so sorry for that. And now when the gilding glue have dry a bit, because you need to dry a little bit, I am not using the heating gun. I leave it for drying like uh, 1 minute works fine for me here. And now I'm adding of the metallic flakes, and I'm really generous, and I'm tapping it on, and not special like you see, I'm placing it on and tapping it like a little bit, and sometimes I use the not brush ended on my brush. It's only tapping in and try to fill everything. And when I think I'm really happy, I go over with my hands and brush on the details fine and tapping it on. And on some places the metallic flakes will move, but then it's they are like double. And yes, and if you have some spot that you think that you have no flakes, add a little bit more gilding glue and go over that place. It works fine for me. I wasn't looking for the perfect finish here because it's a skull, so you could leave some spots. Okay, I'm thinking to add some contrast color, and so I was picking the Prussian blue, and now I go over my elements with white heavy gesso, and I go over with dry brushing. And wow, I was thinking for a minute to leave it like that because it's really nice already, but I'm adding the Prussian blue, having a little bit color and spraying it to make it flow, and I going for on the composition, and that's to make some contrast to the background. I really love compositions like that, like are monochromatic, like in one color scheme, one color shades. So I always try to remember myself to add always some extra color. And yeah, I'm like that. It need to be highlight. So I'm taking a little bit of the white pearl wax and I highlight it, and it gets like an extra shiny effect. And wow, I love that effect. I must do this more because the effect is so gorgeous. Little bit black in the background, and you have the impasto brown is reddish what I made, and the blue on the top, and then white. Oh, it makes really nice effect. So it's perfect. So here I want to add the skull, and I'm gluing it, and the moon makes like an, just for fun, I'm making a more scully effect. And now I'm thinking a bit because it too many contrasts, so metallic flecks in the background, or what should I do? But I have the burnt sienna on my table, so I will darken up my skull. Yeah. So you see, if you have something on your table or it doesn't go exactly what you're thinking, try to think and how you can do it. And yeah, perhaps you should not add like paint on the metallic flakes, but it makes like a really nice effect on with the copper in the background. And now I take the burnt sienna and adding a little bit paint color around my composition to make it a little bit more um, shadow effect. And wow, yeah, it start to be amazing. And now I'm taking the brown impasto paint, dabbing on the edges to make it like framey effect again. And you will see that I will try to frame with the white pearl again to make it like more effect. And I changed my mind, but when you change your mind, go back to what you were thinking first, because it's okay. It's okay to change your mind during the protest, and change your mind, go back to what you're thinking, and it's only paint, and you can always change your mind. The most important thing is you having fun, and that was I always enjoy. I'm challenge myself and having fun during the process, and now you see me trying out, and no, I changed my mind. So what I do, I'm adding paint again. And so easy it is to do that. So take care, all of you, and thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up and have a great day, and take care, and we'll see you soon again. Bye bye.